Hello and welcome to our series of conversations with the Hong Kong Trade Development Council's overseas branch directors. And today in the studio we have Perran Ersu, who is with our consultant office in Istanbul, Turkey. Well, thank you for joining us. Really, the first question is to tell Hong Kong SMEs a little bit about some of the opportunities and challenges of doing business in Turkey.
Trade between Turkey and Hong Kong has really been increasing in double-digit percentages over the last few years. So I think the environment is really ripe for more trade, and the biggest opportunities in my mind would be in the watches and clocks, toys, furs, houseware appliances, and gifts items. Some of the challenges, despite these huge volumes of trade, Turkish people and Hong Kong people still do not know each other that well. So we need to create more opportunities for them to get together and get to know each other so they can do better business together.
Across all of these product areas, there seems to be a common denominator in the whole idea of getting luxury products onto the market. How is that playing out?
That's definitely true. The Turkish consumer is pretty sophisticated and is very style conscious. I think Hong Kong products have a serious advantage there over others in that they have a very strong style element, very strong design element, and yet still are much more affordable.
There has been a lot of interaction in recent months and years with Turkish delegations coming here to Hong Kong, with Hong Kong delegations going to Turkey. In addition to the product areas, there's also been some discussion about financial products and that side of things.
Right.
What have you been noticing and what have you been seeing developing there?
Well, we did have our first Turkish panelists at the AFF in 2011, and in 2012 we're expecting a large delegation from Turkey led by one of our ministers.
Coming up as well, there will be some promotional events happening in Istanbul. Can you tell us a bit about what's on the horizon?
Definitely. Well, we do have several groups of businessmen coming to Turkey from Hong Kong, but the big event will be the Lifestyle Hong Kong Expo to be held in Istanbul in 2013 November.
Which type of Hong Kong SME should get involved with that?
Pretty much anybody who wants to open up to a market of 70 million people with toys, electronics. Oh, of course, electronics is another strong industry. Housewares, some textiles, some jewelry.
Of course, every market around the world has faced some challenges in light of the recent global economic turmoil that's out there. How has that been playing out in Turkey itself?
Well, we have been very lucky. We had our crisis in the year 2000, and we had already come out of it by the time the rest of the world got affected. So, in fact, we had 8.5% GDP growth last year, and we're looking at close to 5% GDP growth next year. So, in that sense, that puts Turkey at an advantage and also an opportunity for Hong Kong companies who want to trade with Turkey.
Why is it worth it for companies from Hong Kong to try to look toward Turkey for some opportunities in the future?
First of all, the size of the market, 70 million, the GDP, which is also still growing, and also it's a very young group of consumers. So basically, if you can establish your brand to a group of young people, you have the chance of keeping them as customers for a long, long period of time.